Here in beautiful Irvine, California, in Orange County for this Western Conference matchup between Orange County SC and Portland Timbers 2. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us on this July 4th weekend. Tyler Terrens alongside Mike Pepper. And Mike, Orange County looking to make it 2 in a row. Portland Timbers 2 starving for points.
Yeah, even though you see Orange County sitting towards the bottom of the standings ahead of Portland, obviously at 1-13-1. Orange County only played 9 games. 2 wins in a row would be huge for this team.
They have a ton of games in hand, and they're looking to make the most of it against a very, very young Portland Timbers 2 team. Andrew Greger's side are looking to get a huge 3 points. They're win this in their last 9 games, and somebody that they're going to have to rely on is Villian Bijev, their leading scorer.
Yeah, and he's not just the leading scorer for this year. I mean, you go back to last year, 8 goals, 10 assists, which led the USL all-league first-team honors last year. He does have those 4 goals. He's going to need to get something going to help this team offensively click because they only have 3 players that have scored, 2 of them on the field tonight.
Bijev with the lone goal in the last 4 matches for Portland. That goal coming against Oklahoma City a couple of weeks ago, in which they fell 3-1, coming off a 2-0 loss against Vancouver in their last game. And for Orange County, a man who's always loose and ready to go is Jerry Van Avik.
Yeah, you look at it, 9 games played. He started in all 9 of those games. He also has 782 minutes, which leads the team, not just in minutes, but goals, shots. He's the offensive catalyst this team will be looking towards.
Van Avik put in a very solid performance in the team's 4-3 dramatic win against Seattle. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups, beginning with the visitors. And with that MLS affiliation, you see 2 things: a lot of high numbers and a lot of players who are extremely young.
Yeah, and the youth part is what has attributed to that 1-13-1. But the high numbers just means these guys are young. They're part of that franchise, part of everything going on.
And for Orange County, again, looking to make it 2 in a row, did not change a single thing from the lineup last weekend. Did Logan Paus.
If it's not broke, don't worry about fixing it, because you go out there, you're going to get a great start like you did last game, and hopefully that can continue over into this second game of this 3-game homestand.
Featured player for Orange County, Jerry Van Avik on the side. Wilito Fernandez up top as we are almost ready for kickoff here in Orange County. It's OC going up against T2 when we come back.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Live here in Irvine, California, in Orange County, Tyler Terrens along with Mike Pepper to bring you this Western Conference matchup. Thanks for joining us. Just moments away from kickoff. And Mike, we mentioned it before during the pregame, Orange County with a ton of games in hand, only having played 9 games this season. teams in the top tier of the Western Conference have played close to 16. They cannot let these opportunities go to waste to get points back.
Exactly. You talked about going to waste because it is a Portland team that has struggled. You get them at home. You've already taken care of them. Take care of business at home. That's the key part, and especially with 7 games in hand. That's going to come into play a little bit later, Tyler, because they're going to have a lot of games going on.
Absolutely. Together. As we are underway from Champion Stadium, Bark in the Park Day here at the Great Park, as a number of fans have chosen to bring their dogs to the contest today, as everybody should be in for a scintillating 90 minutes. A rematch of these two teams from back in April, in which Orange County took the win over at Providence Park 2-1, as Van Avike as well as Victor Pineda were the goal scorers. Victor Pineda's strike from about 25 yards out was absolutely phenomenal. That would prove to be the game winner. Augustine Williams had the goal for Portland, and scoring goals for this Portland team is a massive issue. They only have 1 goal in their last 4 games. Just 3 players have scored for Andrew Greger's side this season.
Yeah, 8 goals in 15 games is not going to do it.
Orange County looking to make a move early on, but Bjornathan with a nice challenge. He made a number of goal-clearing saves for Portland in the matchup against Oklahoma City a couple of weekends ago. Here's William Bijev, featured player for Portland, 4 goals this season. Omar Muhammad back for the 17-year-old Harold Hansen out of Ontario, California. Looking to look up with Bijev. Trying to go back out wide for Muhammad. Good waiting there was Roy Muse.
I was going to say, 17, you mentioned it there, but man, I think he's bigger than I am, and I'm a big guy. He is a big kid.
For those of you who don't know, Mike Pepper stands at about 6'2". Harold Hansen is most certainly a beast, just 17 years old. We mentioned he has a serious motor, and he's one of those modern-day outside backs that really likes to get involved in the outside attack.
Absolutely. And the youth obviously is something you got to let him experience and grow it, and we'll see if Orange County might try and do it. A turnover, though, possibly on the goal kick.
Charlie Lyon between the pipes today for Logan Paws. Used to be a member of the Seattle Sounders. Sounders actually drafted him, gave him his professional opportunity in the game of football. He spent a number of years with the Sounders as well as Seattle too, and now making a home for himself here at Orange County. And over this stretch for Logan Paws, he said somebody who has sort of given him a little bit more than he thought he was going to get out of him was Charlie Lyon, who has just been superb in goal. His defense has let him down at times, but whenever his number's called upon, he comes up with a huge save.
Yeah, the big saves when you do, and you know, you get the 3-goal lead last week, and that's something you'd like to close out a little bit more, but the bottom line, it's to win, and that's what comes up, and Charlie Lyon had to be called on a couple times, and he did make those saves when needed.
Orange County came away with a dramatic 4-3 victory. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the 25th minute. An own goal from Seattle, as well as goals from Alvarez and a penalty from Roy Muse saw them flying at the start of the game. But that's sometimes the dangerous part of this sport, is when you go into halftime with that big of a lead. They came out extremely flat. Seattle put in a corner kick from a set piece in the first couple of minutes into the second half, and then they were chasing the game for the rest of the match. Luckily, Villalobos came on and had a big goal late in the game that would prove to be the game winner.
It makes a big difference when you are talking the professional game. Again, we talked about Portland 2T2 going out as far as the second team, but they are still getting paid. These young men are going out, learning experience, and as professionals, you can't let your guard down.
Average age just below 21 years for this Andrew Greger's side, as they really just have a lot of trust in their guys. And while they only have 4 points, talking to Logan Paws earlier in the week, he knows that this team is dangerous. He knows they're technical and athletic. And most of the losses for Portland are just 1 goal. So they're always in these matches. Yeah. They just sort of need to get that experience behind them and know how to close out a game.
And that's the thing early on. I mean, I know it's only 3 minutes into it, but Portland doing okay and holding on to the ball a little bit. You would like to see Orange County get a little bit pressure higher, maybe force these young kids into a turnover or 2.
Goes all the way back to Charlie Lyon, who's off his line to claim it. Lyon, 25 years old, originally from Illinois, and again with his first season with Orange County.
Bit of a wind advantage behind Orange County this first half, too. We can hear it.
Well, you can hear as well as you can see the punt from Charlie Lyon that with the wind at his back probably traveled about 85 yards. So we'll see how that plays into things here at Champion Stadium. Again, Orange County looking to make it 2 in a row after a win against Seattle last week, only having played 9 games this season. And Logan Paws is just excited for this nice stretch of games coming up to be able to get into a normal rhythm and sort of establish themselves and find their identity. With a lot of new faces, you need to be able to get those games behind you just to see what kind of team you are.
Absolutely, and it is a little crazy as he's offside in here. Couldn't hold his run. the 9 games, and eventually it's going to come back up. And he wants to make sure you point out here, as you point, Logan Pause gets a look at him. But the key part on that, Tyler, is to go ahead and take advantage of those opportunities, because every game here, it's a 3 points. You cannot give them up in home games.
Orange County on the move. Victor Pineda looking for an option here. He's got Van Avike at the top of the box. Decides to go back to Ami Pineda. No relation between the two. Victor Pineda again. Encouraging his backs to get forward. Now here's Carlos Alvarez. Linking up with Van Avike. But putting in a good challenge was Tomas Granito. And he draws the foul, and Portland will be able to come out the other way.
A little sloppy by Van Avike right there. Maybe taking his eyes up a little bit and trying to scramble for possession. Nice touch there and good defense.
That was a big sweeping ball, probably about a net of 65 yards that was able to find Bjornathan on the far side. Took a good touch, but the defender was in the right place at the right time. And Orange County will be able to possess here. They are a possession-based style team. Logan Pause really likes to keep the ball on the deck. Played with the Chicago Fire from 2003 to 2014. Was a great professional player in his own right and has brought his experience here to Orange County in his first season here in Irvine. Taking the reins of a team who upset the #1 seed in last year's Western Conference playoffs, Sacramento Republic, and eventually failed to Swope, who would represent the Western Conference in the USL Cup. As Muse does a good job to get around, and it looks like we are going to have a foul in favor of Orange County, so this is sort of a makeshift corner, Mike, and a good opportunity to swing the ball into the box.
Yeah, Muse was able to run it down, but it really wasn't much of an advantage because by the time he got to it, so obviously the free kick here is going to give Orange County a bit of an opportunity.
And there you see Andrew Greger in charge of things for Portland Timbers too. Looking to get points here. And they haven't gotten a point in their last 6 games. Their lone win of the season was at Sacramento on April 22nd. 2-0 win in which Bijev and Arboleda scored. As Kendall McIntosh, the 23-year-old keeper, getting his 2-man wall in order. Victor Pineda, the lefty, on top of this one. Check that, Ami Pineda. Pineda with a good ball in. Hansen gets there first, back out to Van Avike. Thought about the shot for a second, but decides to chip it back out wide. Bjornathan cuts it out as Orange County trying to keep it in the area. And it'll be another foul against Portland. It's Timothy Ford getting involved, the head referee for today, in charge of all of the important decisions and hopefully not any executions as far as dishing out any red cards. Almost 8 minutes played here at Champion Stadium, still 0-0. Not much to write home about. Neither team has really had any sort of chances. That could change here. Alvarez trying to find Fernandez. Bijev comes away with it.
All the action between the 18s right now. Neither keeper tested.
Victor Pineda with a strong challenge. Fernandez getting in on the mix. Former UMass Lowman trying to squeeze through a couple of T2 players, but Timbers did a good job to get the ball out of the area. And it seems like both teams are more than content to let the opposition possess their ball in the own defensive third. We might see that change with spots here and there from the coaches, but for the moment, they're more than happy to sit in, absorb pressure, and then try to hit them on the counter. Alvarez for Oscar Soto.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Still a little possession here and force Portland to defend a little bit as T2 trying to get that, maybe force these young kids into a mistake marking.
Good ball ahead for Muse, sends it in one time. It's a good ball. Fernandez was there, but it was a good job right at the last. It looked like it was Bjornathan who got there. First real sign of life that we've seen from OC moving forward. They looked absolutely deadly in the attack against Seattle last weekend. There was clever movement off the ball. They were lively. And you have to imagine why. That was their first USL game in over 3 weeks. They made a nice little run in the US Open Cup, eventually falling to the LA Galaxy 2, 3-1. But they were just a team that was hungry to play against their own league, and it came out swinging in that game against Seattle. Went up 3-0 and then ended up winning 4-3 as Hansen cuts that out. OC trying to keep it in Portland's end, but T2 with good composure.
A lot of these home games later because they did open the new park, and what better to open it than at least first couple months bark in the park here, Tyler.
Here's Bijev.
I would have brought my dog if I'd known.
There you go. Muhammad going back for Hansen. Orange County really sitting in here, allowing Portland to possess. Hansen with a bad giveaway. Things could be on here for OC. Van Avijk. Still Van Avijk. Through the legs of the defender. There's the shot from Stevanovic. It's blocked in front. However, it will be a corner for OC. Very quick counterattack.
Inexcusable giveaway by Hansen there. It's just alone. It's not even that it was a bad ball, but it allowed Orange County on this counter.
Ended up being Michael Amick who got the foot to it, and it had to be as Stevanovic was naked on the back post looking to just put that home.
Nicely weighted pass there by Van Avijk.
So it'll be Ami Pineda on top of the corner for OC. First for either team this evening. And it looks like we're going to do that one more time.
Maybe had a bit of a delay on that, just when you saw some pushing, shoving, wasn't watching, I guess, but there we go.
We'll run it back one more time. It's a design set piece. Van Avijk back for Pineda. Good ball in towards the back post. Muse is there. But T2 did a good job to challenge the header, and it'll go to Kendall McIntosh for a goal kick.
You wonder sometimes if that little quick pass into there, whether or not they want to go ahead and do it, but something onto the back post.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Sorto up for the header. Sorto on it again as Ami Pineda helping it along. Hansen with another giveaway. Another opportunity for OC to run in transition. Ami Pineda looking for an option. Sends it towards the back post. Bjornathan is there. Fernandez over his head. And then BJ able to bring it down, but surrenders it right back to Muse. And Orange County can make camp in T2's territory.
Starting to see the momentum go Orange County's way, and some of that self-inflicted by Portland turnovers, but they are starting to grab a little more possession, starting to bring the defense out a little bit and finding the open man.
Kubias trying to chip it forward. Hansen cuts it out as they're consistently looking for Muse down this left side. They feel like they have a mismatch maybe with Harold Hansen, as he's had a tough time dealing with the Belgians' movement early on. Alvarez in some space, looking to line it up, fakes. Still Alvarez. Alvarez going for goal. It's parried away. Stevanovic on top of it now, matched up with Bjornathan. Stevanovic gets the cross, but it's all the way towards the back post, and Hansen with tons of time can take his time and send it the other way. Portland just really struggling to put a foot on the ball and just possess. And like you said earlier, there are times where there's nobody even around them and they're just coughing the ball right back up.
That's inexcusable. I mean, that doesn't matter the fact that you're a young player. You can't, if there's no pressure around you, there's no reason to turn it over in that point. But it's a learning process. Maybe it's not right to go forward. You don't have help, but you just can't turn it over to the other team.
Hansen was looking for Muhammad, but it was cut out by Muse. This one going out wide for Bjornathan. Horn still. This is what Orange County does well. They sort of collapse in the middle of the field, and while they are sitting back and letting the center backs ping it around, they're not going to let you penetrate the middle of the field and be able to get things going, as They're trying to bring it down wide with Bodley. Back for Bjornathan again. And Orange County once again forcing them backwards.
You can see the pressure stepping up a little bit for Orange County too. Obviously, when you don't have the numbers, you don't want to run yourself out. But you might create those turnovers in there because there's nothing that makes an average player better than time. And they'll be able to pick players out.
This one again for Bodley. Working on Franco on the outside. Goes back for Jacob Montes. Omar Muhammad juggling in Orange County's end. Ends up getting dispossessed, and now Van Evijk trying to get out of trouble here. Stevanovic finding Ami Pineda. And now along for Mius again, who's got tons of green to gallop into. Roy Mius, the Belgium. One-on-one with Hansen. Mius to the byline. Great little step over towards the back post. It's over everybody's head. Van Evijk is waiting there. The Dutchman clips it in with the left foot, looking for Fernandez. It ended up being Alvarez who got there first, but his header goes wide, and it'll be another goal kick for McIntosh.
And more opportunities into the area. Get an opportunity here and not able to find it on net to test McIntosh.
This is another look at the shot from Carlos Alvarez that McIntosh had to make his first save of the evening.
Those are the ones I have a little difficult time as a former goalkeeper, Tyler. It's like, I know the balls are so much different nowadays, but you got to hold on to that or at least go on there instead of the slapping parrying motion. But again, I know the technology is a little different, so you still get credit, but try and hold on to that at least.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Well, it begs the question whether or not if you try to hold on to that and you fumble it right in front of goal, it's an easier opportunity for a striker to clean it up, whereas if you parry it out with strong fists, at least it's further away from goal. So I guess it's, a double-edged sword.
And I think you have to know what's in front of you. You saw Alvarez, no one else right in there, and if you just try and catch it and it drops in front of you, don't obviously 3-4 yards could create that trouble spot. But I think, again, it's a teaching process now, and a lot of it might be technology.
Great move from Alvarez. Alvarez into the area, squaring it back across. There's the shot, and McIntosh this time hangs on to it. Great movement, though, from Alvarez on the outside. Van Evijk didn't get all of it.
No, he didn't, but it was a great run coming in, and as Jerry came down to the line, he did look back, and not quite on there. Defense, at least in front of it, made it a little bit more difficult there for Van Evijk as he came in.
It was Michael Amick who was right there making sure that he didn't get a clean shot off. Now that's the second time that Amick has gotten a foot in and disrupted the attack for Orange County. He is one of the mainstays at the back for Andrew Greger. It's a nice cushioned header and sent into space for Wilito Fernandez trying to bring it down.
Nice touch.
Fernandez has Stevanovic with him. Fernandez back for Stevanovic. That's a bit of a lazy pass, and it allows Portland to come the other way with Bodley. Blake Bodley putting the brakes on and allowing the cavalry to arrive. Here's Montes driving forward with great purpose. Now Bijev. Bijev unleashing from long range, but that's not going to trouble Charlie Lyon, who scoops that up.
Yeah, sometimes, you just want to put it in on goal, see what happens. Obviously, Bijev just didn't get a hold of it, but it's a good job of Orange OC of getting bodies behind the ball. We saw the counterattack. There was at least 5 black and orange jerseys behind it that made that attack go backwards.
Orange County unable to keep that in play, although it did come off a Portland player, and it'll stay with OC. Franco just clips it into an area. Bjornathan with the header. Stevanovic trying to track it down, but Bjornathan, in my opinion, one of the better outside backs in the Western Conference. Great defensively and getting involved in the attack when he needs to. Good movement here from OC. Inching their way up the field. Mius trying to link up with Alvarez, but it did go out of bounds, and it'll go back to T2.
We've seen through the first 20 minutes, Tyler, what Portland's season's been about a bit, because even at 1-13-1, here's a team that's playing competitively and tight, or at least tough into that point. But it's the moments of sloppiness that is really kind of creating the opportunities for Orange County.
Well, this Orange County team, before the game against Seattle, where they put in 3 goals in the first 20 minutes, had a bad rep in terms of starting games. They usually started slow. They gave up early goals. They gave up a first-minute goal against the Monarchs a few weeks ago, which ended up being their demise, falling 1-0. And talking with Logan Paws last week leading up to the Seattle game, he said that he really wanted his team to start strong. They answered the call from Logan Paws, and now it's another bit of a slow start. They're starting to get back into the swing of things in the last 5 or 10 minutes. And here they come again, Ami Pineda. Ami Pineda lining up the shot. Always going over the bar, though. It's a good attempt from Ami Pineda. He's got a wicked left foot, and that time just over the bar.
I do like the shot. You do want to test the goalie, but in the whole respect, and I've argued this, put it on target. Doesn't matter even if it's right at the goalkeeper, force him to make that. You've got 3 or 4 attacking players into the area, and if he just bobbles it enough into that same effect, go in there. You put it over the top, it's an easy out for everyone.
Well, with that new technology that you mentioned before, while the ball does dip and swerve a little bit more than it used to, does it become harder then to put it on frame?
That's the argument here a little bit. I would think obviously the goalkeepers can play. It's all about the goalkeepers, but the forwards, I think, if you don't hit it just right, it might move a little bit more than what you're used to.
Here's OC yet again on the counter. It's a good ball in. Willito Fernandez lining it up, and there's a diving stop from McIntosh. Great reaction save. It'll be another corner for OC. Great attempt from Fernandez.
Outstanding play all the way around. A great ball, and there's Fernandez really going on there. And great reaction. McIntosh getting into position and able to parry that one wide.
Willito Fernandez knew exactly what he wanted to do on that instance. However, Max Ornstein, again, another center back who was there on the scene for Portland just to make it a little bit tougher for Orange County.
I think Fernandez on the swing through may have kind of hit his shin or knee.
And the physio immediately coming out and giving Willito Fernandez the attention that he needs. Fernandez, just 27 years old, from Cape Verde Islands, moved to the U.S. in 2009. He was drafted by FC Dallas, played his college ball with the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. He's an all-conference player in the American East.
Another look here, Todd. I think if you watch the leg coming through, I think that shin went right across the back of Ornstein. And whether that kind of popped the knee forward or whether it's just an actual contusion, that's what he's getting looked at right now.
Certainly not in the game plan for Logan Paws to maybe have to make a substitution this early on, as Fernandez will hopefully be able to continue. Still receiving treatment from the physios. We'll take one more look at that play. And just like you said, Mike, on that follow through, he was so close to Ornstein that it was almost impossible for him not to get a piece of Ornstein.
Sometimes you wonder if that actually goes in, if he's able to jog back up to midfield. Because that would have been one of those golazos of sort there, the volley out of the air, but
the adrenaline would have certainly been pumping. He probably wouldn't have been hurt until about 5 minutes later.
He's moving pretty well now, but sometimes it's scary when you come across there and you go, oh, what happened there?
So Orange County will be down a man until Fernandez could come back in or a substitution's made, as the corner is initially cleared out.
Looked like Fernandez going to the locker room.
And now here it is for Alvarez lining up the volley, and that one goes over the bar. But Mike, like you said earlier, it's about putting it on frame, and that's 3 opportunities now where they just haven't been able to hit the target.
That's so key. I mean, we're seeing the opportunities start to present themselves even more, but if he just puts it on net, force the goalkeeper to be a superstar instead of just giving them a chance to relax and recover.
Well, it's certainly a tough volley to take coming over the shoulder. You have to give him credit just for making that solid a contact, but at the same time, you got to challenge a keeper who's made a couple of early saves, but has proven that he's not exactly hanging on to the ball at the moment.
I was wrong. Looks like Fernandez might be able to come back off the side. He's up, ready to check in.
Ball over for Hansen as he is offside. And it looks like Willito Fernandez will be able to return. Fans, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. So Orange County with a couple of very real opportunities over the past few minutes or so. Haven't been able to cash in just yet. Portland still trying to find the rhythm on the road. Haven't gotten a point in their last 6 matches, winless in their last 9. Just 4 points on the season. Good movement from Victor Pineda, and that's a bit of a naughty challenge from Jacob Montes.
It looked straight leg to me, Tyler, at that point, and especially after going down and you get back up. I don't know. I mean, I know he goes to the ball, and I don't think it's a card in the past, but with the way they've changed the rules a little bit, and see, he's down, now he's back up. That's a straight leg over the top. To me, that's a card all day.
Well, the cards will stay in Timothy Ford's pocket for the moment, but Jacob Montes will certainly be on Tim Ford's watch list for the rest of the match. Probably next challenge will be a card.
And to be honest, I'm not a fan of the red card, straight red at that point, but I thought that was borderline straight red. And not to say I thought it was necessarily awful. Heck, when we played, that happened all the time.
That's barely a foul when you play.
This is the new rules. You know, you don't go straight leg over the top. That was a little scary, but we'll see what the one caution warning to him, not the caution, but the one warning does in his game now.
Well, it also begs the question, you know, it's only the 27th minute. Referee has in his mind, well, I don't want to make a decision at this very moment that could affect, you know, the rest of the 3 quarters of the match. But then you go back to the thinking, well, if a foul's a foul's a foul, no matter when it is during the course of a game.
Absolutely. I think that's got to be the case by every referee. And I'm not a fan of the protect that it happened in the box. It's got to be different. Hey, a push is a push at midfield, and a push is a push in the box. It's got to be there. I don't care if we got 6 penalties. Maybe we'll stop that in the game.
Bjornathan sends it towards the back post. Muhammad giving chase, but it looks like Alvarez will get there first. Orange County with tons of composure and experience at the back. They're going to try to play out, but it falls to the attacker here, trying to slide it across for Bodley. But it will not get there. Augustine Williams probably didn't make the right decision there, as it's ahead for Wilito Fernandez with great pace, giving the defender all sorts of problems. But Williams, or perhaps Fernandez, giving the foul there. Good job from Max Ornstill, sort of the feel where Fernandez was and make sure that he didn't get around them.
Well, we talked about T2 turnovers. This is the foul here, but the T2 turnovers have almost cost them that one. A terrible turnover in your own box. And rather fortunate that Augustine Williams, maybe as young as he is, he should have just taken that on net 8 yards out, instead trying to find the open man. Probably didn't know what to do so open, so close to the opposing net.
Williams, one of the 3 goal scorers on this Timbers team. 15 games into the season, they've only had 3 players who have scored. Williams has 2 of the goals. He had the diving header, which was a superb goal against Orange County. The first time these 2 teams met back in April. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the game of the week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Attention fans, we have a birthday in the crowd.
Kind of a
Orange County Soccer Club would
jump
like to
ball
give a
challenge.
birthday shout out to Claire Hughes. Happy 12th birthday, Claire.
Good composure from Joe Franco on the outside, as Charlie Lyon will take it and thump it the other way. Great ball for Alvarez. It's a difficult touch to try to take around Hansen, as T2 are just going to see this out of bounds, but that's the second time we've seen world-class distribution from Charlie Lyon.
Yeah, and again, with the wind at the back, you can take that extra chance. If you don't quite hit it right, it might still carry on for you. It's interesting to see how that may have affected it early on. We did see T2 going into the wind a little bit. We've seen the flow of the game really kind of turn more for OC over the last 20 minutes or so, but how much is that wind advantage? What's it going to go? The ball's not going to carry into the second half like that should the wind stay up throughout that time.
It's a good flick on from Bijev, and now here's Bodley. Blake Bodley goes out wide, back for Bijev, trying the return pass for Bodley, but it's cut out. As OC defended it well, Stevanovic in trouble, has to poke it out of bounds, and it'll stay with T2, who after that OC turnover where Williams almost had an opportunity to score, it seems like they've gotten a little bit of rhythm back.
Created a couple of chances here. That's something they hadn't done in the previous time.
And Bijev very cleverly knocks it off the OC player, and it'll be a corner kick for T2.
Yeah, I talked real quick about the if it's a foul in the penalty or out in the midfield. You had that last week with the Orange County game. A couple of penalty kicks awarded on balls kind of away. I mean, the ball was played into him, but it was still away from the play as opposed to being an actual tackle.
T2 looking to capitalize on this set piece. It's a good ball in, and it's flicked on, and it's in. What a header. And it's from their leading goal scorer, Viljan Bijev, getting his 5th goal of this season. A team that's just scored 1 goal in their past 4 matches has an early tally off a set piece. It's 1-0 to the visitors.
That's just their 9th goal of the year, but this one's a beautiful one.
Well, the ball coming in had a ton of pace and power behind it, and all Bijev had to do was nod it on, and McIntosh got a piece to it, but not able to do anything about it.
Well, interesting here is T2 runs over to the bench. Referee is waiting. I know Orange County was looking to take that quick kickoff. Personally, I'd say, hey, wait, we're ready to play. We should, but referee giving them an extra second. Again, you talked about the header. Nice ball whipped in, and Bijev just putting it back across, put it in, and it was able to get past Lyon. And what a great goal for a team that's really struggled this year to score goals.
And T2 really hadn't threatened up until the last 2 or 3 minutes, and you just sort of had that feeling after surrendering a pretty innocent corner kick that they might be able to produce something off of it. And that's the danger with these young teams. You give them one opportunity, you give them a set piece, something that anybody at any age can execute on, and they can hurt you.
Yeah, and hey, we've talked about only 4 points, 1 win in 15 games, but hey, that win was at Sacramento too. So there's one of the teams that is expected to do a lot of things, and that's where Portland's 2-0 win came from. So it's a team that can surprise you, and we've talked about how much they've been in games this year with the 1-goal losses, but you don't want to give these young teams any early momentum without trying to answer quickly.
Well, it was Orange County who initially got up on the board when these two teams met a couple months ago, and then Portland had to climb back into it with the Williams goal, and then Orange County ended up getting the game winner. So now the script is flipped a little bit. It's just a matter of who's going to get the next goal, if any. Mius working on Muhammad. All the way back for Ubias. Williams providing the pressure. Flipped over for Mius again, just helping it along for Alvarez. Alvarez to the byline. Puts the brakes on, now curls it in. Fernandez trying to bring it down. Stevanovic with a shot, and there's another save from McIntosh. He did really well to get down, and this time Stevanovic making sure he put it on target. McIntosh up to the task.
Great save by McIntosh, and again, the pressure by Orange County has been great, but McIntosh really up to task. Here's one that came through some traffic and really able to cover it up.
Savvy play from Fernandez just to sort of help that along. Even if he didn't get a piece of it with his chest, he sort of just dummied it for Stevanovic, who did well to keep it down, but that's a great reaction save from McIntosh, and I'm sure as a goalkeeper you can appreciate the ability to get down to the floor that quickly.
Absolutely, especially something from 8 yards out, but it's freezing the defender. That's what Fernandez is able to do just by that move. I agree with you. I don't think he necessarily got on it, but just the fact that it was the dummy move, the defender's kind of stuck, because if he puts that back, you got to defend that shot to the left.
So Orange County with a brilliant opportunity to try to equalize, as we'll take another look at the celebration and the makeshift hydro break for T2, as they would all trot over to the bench and get a drink of water. And it's interesting, you said that Orange County is ready to play, but on the flip side of it, if you're Portland, celebrations sometimes take a lot longer than that,
yeah.
and you're usually doing nonsense. Why not be productive with the celebration?
Well, the thing is that you do the celebration in the other half. I realize your own bench is there, but you had all 11 players on your own half. Technically, you can get called on the whistle right there. So if you're in the half, there's no reason to hold it back, but it would be kind of, I wouldn't want to say cheap because, hey, it's part of the rules of the game, but it's just take advantage of it. Be ready. It's always like that. You know you're ready to go on the whistle.
So Orange County having to climb out of a bit of a hole here. BJ's goal in the 31st minute right now is separating the two sides. Portland with just their second goal in their last 5 matches, including this one. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Here's Van Avike trying to squeeze through. But a good job from Tomas Granito. Augustine Williams on the right side of Ubias. Williams still on it. The Jamaican going for goal, but that's scooped up easily by Charlie Lyon.
Canner didn't really have the numbers, and he cut it back. It was an opportunity on. Do like the fact it's on net, but it wasn't much of a test for Lyon.
Good touch into space from Stevanovic. Showed a little bit too much to the defender. Now here's Stevanovic picking up the second ball, trying to send it out wide. Just not enough zip on it. Franco going up well for the header. Pineda has his pass deflected. Fernandez putting in a good challenge. Now it's out wide for Alvarez. Carlos Alvarez. Out wide for Ami Pineda. Puts it on that left foot. Blocked in front by Hansen. Still with Pineda. Trying to get around Hansen, and he does draw the foul. So it'll be another makeshift corner for OC.
Well, set pieces down corner. Dangerous chances. OC hasn't been bad on him. Haven't been able to get a great chance off these directly. But you give a team so many opportunities, and something bad might be bound to happen. So we'll see whether or not OC can find an open man in the box. McIntosh been up to task when asked so far. Might be called on again.
Almost into the 38th minute of play. Bijev with a goal off a corner kick in the 31st. OC trying to answer back. Van Avike curls it in. Almost a very similar play. The second ball was about to squirt out to an OC player, but it hits off referee Timothy Ford, who's not exactly a popular man at Champion Stadium at the moment. Muse leaving it off for Pineda. Abby Pineda going out wide for Stevanovic. Bjornathan cuts it out. There's Augustine Williams touching it into space. Williams chopping it back. Waiting for some help. Back for Montez. Montez trying to squeeze through 5 different OC players, but gets dispossessed. And Orange County maybe to look to run on the other end. Alvarez moving forward, trying to chip it for Fernandez, but out of his reach as Alvarez looking to make amends for giving the ball up. USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting USLsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
Tyler, the goal has seemed to give T2 a little bit more confidence. They seem to be not afraid to take a couple more chances, finding a little bit, and creating a little more outside the 18, at least for the last 5 minutes or so.
Ami Pineda with a good ball for Van Avike. Van Avike with 2 defenders to deal with. Curls it with the outside of the right foot. It was a good ball in. Back out for Alvarez. Victor Pineda back for the Belgian Muse. Muse looking to link up with Alvarez. Hansen gets a touch to it. Or perhaps last touch was off of Alvarez. That'll be a T2 throw-in. And like you said, Mike, this Bijev goal has really given this young T2 team a little bit more confidence to go forward. And just like a shooter in the game of basketball who just needs to see the ball go in the bottom of the net. This Portland team, maybe to see a goal in the back of the net, and it's sort of giving them more confidence that, all right, we're here, we may be young, but this is an opportunity that we can take on the road.
And that's the key, on the road too. You know, a team that did come off a big victory, as OC did last week, 4-3. You've been struggling so much with the 6 consecutive losses, and sometimes that first goal, I mean, if you give up that first goal, you're like, oh no, here we go again. But it totally changes the mindset having that lead.
And a lot of that has to do with Kendall McIntosh, who made a couple of very big saves early on to keep them in the game, as Muse sends this towards Fernandez. As there's a good header from Michael Amick. And it'll be a corner for Orange County, but McIntosh has kept them in the game and allowed his team to stay in it and to be able to go get a goal off of a set piece.
Yeah, 2 really impressive saves. The one on Fernandez, and then the one right there again from directly as it was Stevanovic who came in. And those were outstanding saves that have been able to keep them at least right there from trailing, and now it gets them the lead.
Van Avike on top of the corner for OC. Clips this one towards the back post. It's a good ball as Bijev gets there versus Stevanovic, putting it on frame, or so it seemed. And actually ended up hitting the frame, but just the wrong side of the post. That'll be another goal kick for Kendall McIntosh, who's been able to keep the Goose Egg up on the scoreboard for T2 thus far.
Such a difficult play for Stevanovic running away. It wasn't a bad effort to try and get it in, but again, with the traffic going on, just not able to find the near post.
Kendall McIntosh played his college ball at UC Santa Clara, along with one of his center backs playing with him tonight, Max Ornstein, as those two overlapped at UCSC, as T2 will be able to move up the field here.
Tyler, I'm on a liquid diet, so I don't know, every one of those food signs and concession stands are really popping out to me right now. Just saw the burger, and I missed what happened there before we get a good look at Logan Paws.
I guess Logan Paws is better than looking at the food trucks for you.
It does help. I don't get those hunger pangs going on.
There you go. Orange County chasing the game a little bit. This one going back for McIntosh. It's a bad play. Didn't see Fernandez coming. Fernandez claiming it's off of T2, and it is.
Oh, maybe not.
Or perhaps it'll be a goal kick.
You know, interesting there that the decision made by as a goal kick, and it probably is the right call, but Portland not, or T2 not fighting for it. And again, sloppy play. That was definitely off of OC. But the goalkeeper running back, you didn't see the argument in McIntosh saying, hey, no, no, no. That's something that as these kids get older, you know the appeal, let's go out there. Let the referee know. A little fortunate that the right call did go their way, because that was OC using the professionalism to try to get the ball.
So it'll be a foul against OC and another free kick as Williams. And it looks like Franco having some words. And now the referee pointing directly at the man from Sierra Leone, Augustine Williams, to have a stern talking to number 80. And it looks like the pocket is not going to be reached into just yet, as temper's starting to flare a little bit here. Orange County, I'm sure, has to be frustrated with dominating most of the play, but still down 1-0 heading into halftime.
Just making sure all that was for the after effect. I don't think it was the foul in itself. Obviously not on Williams' part, because he was the one who was after the fact, because T2 getting the free kick.
See there, OC dominating in the shots category, but behind on the one category that really matters, and that's the one right above that graphic, as Bijev trying to bring this one down. Shows that touch a little bit too much to Stevanovic. Goes to ground. Stevanovic goes around him, but Bjornathan does well. And T2 will send it back towards Williams, but Williams was in an offside position, and OC did well to step up and create that high line. Penetrating pass for Alvarez. OC really making a living out here on this left wing. They haven't really challenged the defenders over on the far right side of your screen.
Has been the case. See how T2, these guys will grow up a little bit, allow the ball to sit behind, no need. You have the 1-goal lead on the road, no need to do anything stupid. You've had 3 bad mistakes that you've got to be lucky hasn't really gone back. We almost saw the pass behind the goalkeeper the last time out, but 3 turnovers have created 3 big chances for OC. You just got to make sure here in this last minute or 2 of stoppage time.
Williams almost brings it down. Need a little touch, but that skips away from Van Evijk. Good ball from Amick, finding Bodley. Bodley driving towards the byline. It's a good whipped in ball with the left foot. Mius did well to get there. Now maybe numbers the other way for OC, but Stevanovic takes a heavy touch out of bounds.
Great ball across.
And we'll take another look. That is a great whipped in ball, and it was Omar Mohamed who was looking to get a foot onto it, but Roy Mius, the veteran that he is, did well to track back for his defensive responsibilities. Bodley holding things up, twisting and turning. Stevanovic comes away with it. It's about 30 seconds remaining in this first half. Bijev's goal in the 31st minute, proving to be the difference maker as Mohamed drags down Roy Mius. And OC maybe looking for one more opportunity before the halftime whistle. Fernandez taken down, and that's a silly foul from T2. And even if the OC player wins that header, it's not really going to go anywhere, and this is going to be the last opportunity of the first half for either team. And this is where that inexperience comes into play. This is not a place where you want to give away a foul.
Set pieces in your own third in the final seconds of any half or whatever is just not the most tenable situation.
Van Evijk clips it in. It's another good ball. Bjornton gets there first. Victor Pineda trying to send it on frame, but there's the halftime whistle from Timothy Ford. We do have a breakthrough, and it comes from the leader of this Portland Timbers 2 team, Villian Bijev, who scored the goal off the corner in the 31st, getting his 5th goal of the season, just the 2nd goal in 5 matches for this Portland team. As we'll take another look at it. Great header from Bijev. Nothing Charlie Lyon can do about it. And we will be back with halftime stats and highlights when we return.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Halftime here at Champion Stadium as Orange County don't have a whole lot to celebrate at the moment, but they're having a good time nonetheless here at the Great Park. Orange County down 1-0 to Portland Timbers 2. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper. Mike, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think it's something, if you're Portland or you're T2, you're ecstatic. I mean, you kind of gave out played, you kind of gave out the mistakes, but you got the goal. Orange County, just continue doing what you're doing. You're creating chances. Allow McIntosh to make more saves to keep you out of the net. But don't panic just yet. You've been the little bit better team, but you got to give T2 credit for the first 45.
The home side looking to get back into it when we return for the second half. When we come back, we'll have highlights from the first half.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
All good things must come to an end. The 2 top Western Conference teams experienced just that in Week 14 of the USL season. Real Monarchs made their mark in USL history with their 9th consecutive win on Monday night to start off the week where they would play 2 league games. Sebastian Velasquez played a key role in the win over Reno 1868, tallying the assist on both Monarchs' goals. But the streak would end Saturday night in Phoenix. After conceding early, Omar Bravo notched his first USL goal, finishing from inside the box after crisp passing from Matt Watson and Didier Drogba. The Real Monarchs remain unbeaten, though. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 12-1-1. Undefeated San Antonio also saw their run come to an end in front of a record crowd in Colorado Springs. 4,229 fans saw Sean McFarland get on the end of a Master-Cashier free kick right before half. That would prove to be the game winner. San Antonio now moves to 10-1-4 as both teams continue to sit atop the West. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Orange County trailing 1-0 at the half as it's Bark in the Park night here in Champion Stadium. Orange County looking to add a bit more bite to their game rather than bark here in the second half. We'll be back with highlights in just a moment.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Halftime here at Champion Stadium. Portland Timbers 2 with a 1-0 lead over the home side. Orange County FC. Villian Bijev's goal in the 31st minute has proven to be the difference maker. Tyler Terrence along with Mike Pepper. And Mike, this young Portland Timbers 2 team came out a little flat, weathered the storm, and would end up getting a breakthrough.
Absolutely. A couple turnovers early on, but Van Avike, a great ball through. The shot, though, deflected defensively, recovered. And that's kind of the story a little bit of the first half.
And then here would be a chance for Carlos Alvarez, who was certainly busy early on. This would be one of McIntosh's big saves.
Yeah, McIntosh down to his left again. You keep it out, you push it out wide. It is big. I kind of commented about maybe making a better effort to catch it, but he more than made up for that here in the second half, or the second part of the first half.
McIntosh's number would be called again, as here's great skill from Alvarez. Van Avike on the end of that pass from Alvarez, just not able to get enough on it.
No, and again, it was just the effort. You're in front of the near post. You almost try and cut it back, and it makes it a little bit more difficult, especially with that sliding defender as well.
Michael Amick, the sliding defender, making life difficult for the Dutchman, and the chances would continue to come for Orange County. This was a great effort from Fernandez.
Yeah, and a great save by McIntosh, too. And that's one of the things there, the positioning you get in. Obviously, you can't hang that one 6 yards out, but it is a great opportunity, and McIntosh up to task.
Fernandez would be injured on the play, but would be able to return, and Orange County wouldn't be done, as this was a good chance from Alvarez, but a couple of times throughout the first half, just not able to put the ball on frame.
Yeah, and you've got to test him. I mean, he was very good when he was tested. But here's an opportunity. If you just put it down, who knows what the deflection. You got a defender, maybe it goes off that body, but instead it's just an easy goal kick.
And then this would be the moment that changed everything. A great whipped-in ball, and Villian Bijev putting away his 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, kind of the story. We've seen at least 7 highlights down at the other end. This time, the great ball whipped in by Granito, and Bijev knew what to do with this one.
The 2nd goal in just 5 games for this Portland Timbers 2 team, as you take another good look at this one. BJeff, all he had to do was nod it on. Orange County would have a couple of opportunities late in the first half to try to equalize.
Yeah, this one I think was the most right there because of the reaction. You did have bodies in your face, but to be able to cover it up, that was a great job by Mac.
Stevanovic had a couple of good opportunities at the end of the first half, but could not cash in. We'll take a look at T2's upcoming matches, and for a team that only has 4 points, you're getting in the danger zone of really just not being able to make the playoffs. The move needs to be made now.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, it's almost probably not, particularly when you start to look at that Western Conference, how it is bunched up. But a win tonight, who knows what kind of momentum that could bring in there with about 3 of the next 4 at home as well.
Couple of winnable matches against an LA Galaxy 2 team that has struggled to find consistency. And for Orange County, only having played 9 games, entering this match, they have a boatload of games in the month of July.
Yeah, and it's just really one a week to 19th and 22nd. But that first couple of weeks of August, I think it's 8 games in like 21 days. So that's it. They're very important to take care of these so that long run doesn't just wear you out.
Well, we are certainly into the dog days of the USL schedule as Orange County will look to put together some sort of streak to get back into the standings. They're not even featured here in the Western Conference. Who do you like coming out of the Western Conference besides the obvious top 2?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at Real and San Antonio. But, I mean, you look at Orange County and get a result tonight. You look at it, there's still 13 games played by Rio Grande. There's 13 Phoenix. They got 4 games in hand on these guys, and they're only 3-4 points behind them. So they got an opportunity. I think Reno is one of those teams a little bit there. I do like Sacramento seems to have found their groove since losing to T2 earlier.
Absolutely. Sammy Ochoa and Paul Buckle putting together some nice things over in Sacramento. And in the Eastern Conference, what seemed like a one-man or two-man race at the beginning with Tampa Bay and Charleston. Tampa Bay falling to Charleston tonight 2-0. That game just wrapped up. A lot of different moving pieces in the Eastern Conference.
It really is. I mean, Louisville City right now has quite a few games in hand. You also look at a Rochester Rhinos team, only 12 games. I like the way Louisville's been playing. They get Charleston next week at home, so it's an opportunity for them to get a little bit closer. But as you pointed out, Charleston even putting more distance with a win tonight.
Orange County looking to get back into this one, and it would certainly be a big goal. The first goal in this second half, whoever it comes from, really could determine the outcome of this match. And as I'm sure you know, when you in your playing days, Mike, when you're heading into the second half, I mean, it comes out of every coach's mouth to start the half quickly, but how important is it for Orange County to really get the first one?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. And again, I think it's a lot because we've talked about this in the pregame, the youth of a Portland, of a T2. They're out there. They've had all kinds of struggles this year. They've got a lead. If they can get past 15 minutes, you're playing this like in 5-minute increments. You continue to go. Now you get to the 60-minute mark. Now you get to the 65, 70. You're going to gain confidence. But if OC can get that first goal here in the next couple of minutes, all of a sudden T2's got to be wondering, oh, no, here it goes again. We've lost 13 times out of 15. But they're going to continue to try and take this just in those little short increments. We'll see what youth comes into play here in the second half.
Again, Timbers 2 looking for their first win since April the 22nd. Maybe when there was still snow on the ground in Portland, but either way, they're off here in the second half at Champion Stadium, and right off the bat, it's going to be a foul against Orange County, who, as you saw earlier during the halftime show in the highlight package, had a number of opportunities, weren't able to cash in. I would say that they haven't really had that full chance that they've been looking for. Stevanovic had that sliding opportunity. Fernandez, that would have been a golazo if he was able to put that away. So there hasn't been that real one glaring opportunity that you say, oh, they should have had that one.
Yeah, well, and I do think that, you know, there's some that they got to at least put on target. But you're right, McIntosh in position. It wasn't someone open on the back post, and you start to wonder. But here's a team that, you know, you start to look at. And, again, the highlight package we saw at halftime, we saw 10 highlights, 9 of them OC's way. Yet there they are staring up at a 1-goal deficit.
And you're right about that. There really was no opportunities for Portland besides that one set piece. But again, with young teams, that's sometimes all that they need. And BJeff took the most of that opportunity, and he's sort of been the beneficiary of this young sort of ignorance is bliss Portland team, as there's a foul against Fernandez, who's taken a couple of hard knocks early on.
Yeah, that was a head. I don't know why the whistle waited so long to happen. Obviously, you're looking for advantage, but running in behind it, I didn't really see an OC. And with the head shot as well, maybe it looks more like the neck of Fernandez, but sometimes you see those heads get together, and you see the immediate whistle, and the elbow was right there in the neck. Don't really know why the whistle did take so long.
It's Max Ornstill, who was in on the mix, offering a apology high five to Wilito Fernandez. So good gamesmanship there from Orange still, as there's going to be another set piece opportunity for Orange County. And while Portland made the most of their opportunity from the set piece, Orange County has had a couple of great opportunities from dead ball situations, but they haven't been able to cash in.
No, they really haven't. And, you know, just sitting the ball across, we'll see whether or not this is going to be a little far out. It isn't to the wind that came at the back of OC throughout much of the half, but at 30 yards, what do they do?
Muse going for goal, and McIntosh able to hang on to that one. It was a bit of an awkward bounce right before him, but he did well to hang on to it.
You wonder how the wall was there. Didn't get a good angle at where the wall was because that did go around it. Never really got the height, and it was on target. The wall's designed to at least stop that near post, but it was far enough, and as you pointed out, Muse not enough on it for McIntosh to get across.
Here's Augustine Williams going for goal there, but it's blocked in front by Oscar Sorto. And it will be a throw-in for T2, and this is the danger zone for Orange County, a deep throw-in. You don't want to switch off here on the restart.
No, you really don't, and this shot right there was a good decision there by Williams, as you pointed out. Maybe you catch him sleeping a little bit, but defense was in good position.
Williams helping that along, but it's cleared out by Sorto. Still in Orange County territory. Bjornathan going out wide for Bodley. Bodley with bodies in the box to choose from as that's sent across. Back for Bjornathan, and he completely fanned on it. What an opportunity for Bjornathan to try to double Portland's delight, but it comes to nothing.
Still looked like it may have been kicked off the line. That had beat Lyon, but the defender had to run back. But you're right, really not a lot on that ball from about 7 yards out. You got to at least strike it a little bit more, but it looked like it may have been good enough, but good positioning by the OC defender.
Well, early on, it looks like it's Portland Timbers 2 who have really come out swinging here in the second half, as we'll take another look. And that's a ball that you really need to get more of if you're Bjornathan.
Yeah, and maybe it was going wide, but at this point it was good positioning right there, as you pointed out, by Obias.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Tad, I didn't have my glasses on, and as a goalkeeper, I want to give my defenders credit. Sorto was in the right spot. Sorto was the one there, and hey, I'd be hating myself if I gave the credit to the wrong defender.
He forgives you, he told me. Orange County looking to get back in the swing of things here. They really dominated the first half an hour of the game. The BJF goal coming in the 31st minute, and sometimes for a team that has the more of the possession, has the better opportunities early on, when they don't get that goal and don't get that breakthrough, it's sort of that, oh, well, are we ever going to score throughout this game type of feeling.
It's the turnover. We get it back, though.
Muse with a nice little fake, finding Alvarez in the middle of the park. Alvarez driving forward. Goes out wide. Van Avike trying to send it across. Good defending, though, from Hansen. However, will be a throw-in for OC deep in T2 territory. No real long throw-in specialist for this OC team. Fernandez just flicking it over the top, and McIntosh quick off his line, read it the whole way. Number of Orange County players staying loose, as I'm sure Logan Paws and Andrew Greger will be making some substitutions within the next 10 to 15 minutes. A couple of options on the bench for Orange County, likes of Wade Hamilton, Lamar Batista, as well as Villalobos, who had the eventual game winner. He had the fourth goal to make it 4-2, but a glorious strike from Charles Rankin ended up forcing Villalobos' goal to be the game winner. Franco.
Fans, stay up to date on all the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 Eastern Time on SiriusXM.
Here's Williams working on Muse. Williams sends it all the way towards the back post. Bodley heads it back down. It was a good play, but nobody there to knock it home for Portland. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Early on, we did see the OC able to play the ball over the top on the win. I think what we were able to gather from the McIntosh punt last time, that the wind that is keeping the flags up, it pretty much extended, might be a little bit more of an advantage than what it thinks. So they're going to want to play this a little bit lower on the ground, at least to try to get the through ball for Van Elwijk and Fernandez.
Muse with a good ball in. Alvarez's header flicked on towards the back post, but always going wide. It was a good early service from Muse as Portland was completely disorganized at the back.
Yeah, wide open was Alvarez, and it's one of those things sometimes when that ball's coming in, you just don't necessarily think of you got it, but he had all kind of time.
And you see there.
Run and pick.
Timothy Ford getting in the way just a little bit too much as Jacob Montez was trying to get on the end of that bodily header. This one sent forward, hoping for Fernandez to run onto it. Hammock has to deal with it, but it's sent towards Fernandez. Fernandez trying to turn away from the defender, but Ornstein able to clear it away. Nervy moments for T2, who almost just gave a goal back to OC.
Another careless turnover, and again, that OC not able to make them pay for these turnovers.
May was trying to get to the outside. Now here's Montez. OC looking to close down Portland quickly. This one sent into space, and Franco coming all the way back to track it down as he was forward trying to get involved in the attack. Jonathan bringing it down, showing some good composure there. Bijev with a heavy touch, showing too much to Victor Pineda, and then Bijev committing the foul from behind. We haven't seen Tim Ford go to his pocket just yet. Will be another dead ball situation for Orange County. They look to play quickly, but Timothy Ford blowing it back as it was not in the spot where the foul was committed. Pineda sending this one forward. Alvarez bringing it down away from Hansen. Just turning and putting it on frame, but it didn't have nearly enough on it. Maybe it was just trying to send it across, hoping that somebody would turn it home, but McIntosh, probably the easiest save he's going to make all night.
I thought it was a cross mishit from my first glance. I don't know, or maybe he was trying to curl it up. Yeah, maybe from that angle. It seemed a little casual for a shot, but maybe he was trying to catch McIntosh off guard.
Charlie Lyon, a bit of a miscue with his feet there, and it'll be back to T2. And that's what led to the first goal for Portland, was just a careless giveaway at the back, and then Bijev with a savvy play to win the corner, and then they end up scoring off of it. So every opportunity to keep possession and to be able to keep the ball. Certainly going to prove to be useful for this Orange County team, trying to climb back into it after Bijev got things started in the 31st minute. Orange County looking to make it 2 wins in a row after 3 points against Seattle Sounders 2 last week. Forward for Alvarez again. Alvarez. Pineda leaving it through. Now Victor Pineda for Wilito Fernandez. And we are going to have a foul right outside of the penalty box.
Just behind it, Pineda played it away, and it was taken down after he plays it away.
Pineda did extremely well there just to hang on to the ball, and then right after he gives it up, the foul was committed, and you have a lot of quality players who are more than capable of hitting the target here, so it's just a matter of who it's going to be for OC.
Looks like it's about 18.5 yards out.
Had your glasses on for that one.
I did. That one I could see. Sometimes those white lines are good helps. Can tell the difference as opposed to 2 and 5. What is that, a 20-man wall, half and half here? Almost every player not involved on the shot of the goalies there.
It's Alvarez curling it over the wall, and what a goal from Carlos Alvarez. Making good on the set piece. OC are right back in it. We're level at 1.
What a finish there by Alvarez. Sometimes it's so hard to get it up and down. That one never went over the crossbar, though, and it goes off the inside of the post. Nothing McIntosh can do there, except when you're looking at 18.5. Maybe you put a guy on the post. You don't like that because you had defenders in front of you. But at that close, you know if he's able to get it over, you're not going to be able to stop it.
Well, sometimes the word is that you're almost too close when you're on top of the 18, but at the same time, Alvarez didn't put anything on that. All it needs to be is a little ball over the top of the wall. It's going to go in because there's no way McIntosh can get over that.
And especially, you know, when you put down the 20, I said 20, but there were 10 players across there. McIntosh has no idea. He can't see that ball until it gets over the wall, and by that time you got no chance.
So a stunning free kick from Carlos Alvarez as they take advantage of the foul committed by Portland right on top of the box, and we are level at 1. Alvarez and Bijev are your goal scorers. And we did have a substitution. Richard Chaplow checks into the game. Lito Fernandez's day is done as he took a number of knocks throughout the first half and going into the beginning of the second half. So Chaplow coming on here in the 58th minute. And looking to provide fresh legs for this Orange County team. Now looking to take the lead here. Now 15 minutes in to the second half. There's a nasty foul from T2, and Timothy Ford certainly going to have a word or possibly a booking with the offender.
Word is continuing.
Sent forward as Amick dealt with that a little bit awkwardly.
Ball held up in the wind.
Here to see the celebration from Carlos Alvarez, scoring his second goal of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time. Having to deal with a feisty T2 team as Franco sends it along the line. Here's Chaplow getting his first touches in. Ami Pineda going to ground. Horn still getting stuck in. Chaplow now into the mix. Bijev comes away with it, but he was tripped up by Chaplow. And T2 can take a deep breath as they've been on their heels here.
Well, we talked about the increments, the 5-minute increments. Obviously, you've given the goal up now. It'll be interesting to see what is decided by Coach Gregory as far as what the decision is. You've only got 2 results that weren't losses this year. There's still a half hour left in this one. Do you go ahead and continue, or, you know, with the youth, do you push forward, or do you just want them to get some sort of positivity from a road match?
Victor Pineda leaving it off for Chaplow. Chaplow going all the way across for Stevanovic. Hoping that Van Avike can get there through the legs of Stevanovic. As Bodily gives it right back up. Victor Pineda out wide for Stevanovic again. Stevanovic trying to curl it in behind the defense. It's a decent ball back for Chaplow. Chaplow inside of the area. Back for Alvarez. Alvarez around the defender going for the curler. Parried in front by McIntosh as he did make a good save. Unable to hang on to it, but OC's still in the area.
That is a great save.
Alvarez again, and Bjornathan stepping forward. Now here's Franco. And he gives it away. What a save from Kendall McIntosh, continuing to keep his team in the game.
McIntosh had to be big there and able to go, and that one looked like it may have been curled outside the post and coming back, but he's fully extended.
Carlos Alvarez just completely had his way with Harold Hansen here.
Got a good angle on this. I think that was going to find the side netting.
Hansen's had to deal with a number of very quality OC attackers throughout the first 62 minutes, and he's really struggled in the 1v1 defending aspect of it. Alvarez primarily getting the better of him as Bjornathan knocks this out of bounds.
Interesting. I haven't heard a lot of the dog barking here tonight with the bark in the park.
Only well-behaved dogs allowed in. Stevanovic giving chase. Bjornathan right on his back. A great move from Stevanovic. Almost got on the end of it. Now it's for Victor Pineda. Pineda maybe just trying to win a corner here. Able to leave it off for Stevanovic. Sends the cross in. Nobody home though for OC. Orange still gets rid of it. Now here's Pineda trying to squeeze his way through, and it will be a penalty.
Things have gone from bad to worse here for T2. Thought McIntosh probably should have come out on the cross. Instead, it still left the ball. When you put into the area, you don't know. Sometimes things aren't going to go well, and I think that's an obvious penalty there, Tyler.
Well, the 17-year-old Jacob Montes committing the foul as Pineda was just bulldozing his way through. He did well to follow the play up, but Montes, obviously only having a few appearances under his belt, just has to be a little bit more aware of where he is on the field. And now it's Roy Muse who buried a penalty last week to give OC the lead here in the 63rd.
Dave McIntosh did some game work on the view, and let's see what happens.
Roy Muse steps up and buries it. Gets McIntosh to go the wrong way, and OC are headed the right way. They're up 2-1.
Well, the hesitation, and McIntosh started just a little early. Kind of tipped his hand, and Muse decides, hey, you're going to lean right, I'm going to go to your left.
Roy Muse with his second goal in as many games, both coming from the penalty spot. The Belgium delivering in a big spot for this Orange County team who is struggling with an albeit very feisty T2 team, a team that only has 4 points on this season. And Logan Paus said that it was going to be a struggle and that this is going to be a game that they cannot take lightly. It seemed like they did for the latter half of the first half, but they've really come out strong here in the second.
Yeah, and again, it's playing in increments, and you had to wonder if you get to that hour mark, how does that start to change? We did see Logan Paus with the substitution of the man up front thinking he needed to change it up, but they got the goal just before it, so it just kind of changed what they were able to do. They've, again, been the more aggressive team. We saw the first 5-10 minutes of this second half. T2 really put a lot of pressure and probably should have been ahead 2-0. Don't know how that may have changed things, but right now it's Orange County who's really started to take advantage of this young team.
BJF sending this through for Bodley, but Timothy Ford blowing his whistle beforehand. As it looked like it was going to be a late foul, as BJF was trying to get rid of the ball. Advantage not being seen from Tim Ford, and T2 will have a set piece. Heavy touch there from Bodley as him and Victor Pineda get tangled up. Timothy Ford was about to blow his whistle, but decided better of it. Roy Muse hadn't scored leading up into last week's game. Scored from the penalty spot to get things started for OC on the way to their 4-3 victory over Seattle 2. Now scoring again from the spot here, giving his team a 2-1 lead. As here's another foul committed by OC. And now for Orange County, it's a matter of just closing this game out. You fought well, you got back into it, you got the equalizer. Now you have the go-ahead goal. They were ahead for the entire match against Seattle. This is a team who has already given up a couple of leads last week. They need to just close this out, see it out, and that's where the experience comes in.
Yeah, I think you continue just, to avoid a cliche, but I'll say it, pedal to the metal. I mean, right now, the last 10 minutes, everything's been going your way. You've got a young team going the wrong way. Just continue to go out there and add that goal or two if you can do it.
And for T2, it's really gut check time. Team that hasn't gotten a result in their last 6 matches, haven't won in 9. Most of these young players on this T2 team have about a half of a season under their belt at this point. And the inexperience card is almost used up for these youngsters for Andrew Greger, and they need to be able to sort of grind out a result on the road, a point which certainly do them a lot of good, as this one's sent for Chaplow. McIntosh off of his line.
Chaplow was a little shove afterwards, perhaps, is what it was called. He disagrees.
When do they ever agree? Chaplow brings it down nicely and sending this one wide for Alvarez over his head. He'll have some work to do here. Keeps it in play. Great little 1-2. Alvarez has loved going 1v1 with Hansen all evening. And OC with a 1-goal lead, going to be very patient here. Stays in play. Does take a deflection. Hansen has to track it down. He'll be able to keep it in. Portland just having a really difficult time keeping possession and allowing OC to counter the other way. Chaplow sends it across, but McIntosh able to get there as the cross a bit too close to number 23. This one's sent for Blake Bodley. It's a good ball into space. Blake Bodley, 1v1 with Franco. Bodley sends it across. It takes a deflection. Williams trying to bring it down, but it's out for Victor Pineda. Bijev trying to pick up the loose ball and does. Filian Bijev already with a goal to his name. Sends that across, blocked by Muse. And it will be a corner for T2, and you can see Bijev wasn't exactly happy with the effort from his comrades.
Yeah, I think, Williams at that point looked and started pointing to, hey, that's not the run. Well, the ball's only 5 yards away for you, and Bijev able to take it away from Orange County, kind of an unmissed play.
Bodley on top of this corner. It's another great ball in, and Amick has his header go wide, but if he maybe just takes a look at just where the ball is, he might be able to steer that on frame.
It looked like it went off the side of his head, but somehow they got a corner kick. I thought it was obviously off of green and white.
Bodley again. This one is low as Sorto able to clear it away. Last touch again off of Orange County, and it's another set piece for a T2 team whose really only solid opportunities have come off of corner kicks.
I guess maybe the deflection went off the fallen player, but you're right. I mean, that one should have been more on target. That was how they got the goal. Very dangerous. That last corner kick wasn't so good, but if they can clear that first man, there's no doubt that Portland has the taller players in the area.
Bodley's first service was superb. Let's see if he can replicate it. This one a little bit looped towards the back post. There's a push off. It's loose in front, and it's turned home. And it's Russell Cicerone who gets the tally for T2. The substitute coming on and making an immediate impact. It's 2-2 here at Champion Stadium.
Well, and that's the thing. We've talked about the set pieces, and there is T2 able to find the open man, and that's crazy that he gets open from there. First of all, to get the head on the ball, then to get the second ball just 3 yards out.
So there is now a fourth player on this T2 roster who can call themselves a goal scorer, and his name is Russell Cicerone.
And they now have as many goals this season as OC has played, 10, and that's it.
This one's sent ahead, and it will be offside.
little extra momentum here now, Tyler. It really kind of switches out again, and we continue to talk about the young team, but that's going to be the story for T2 all year. Learning experience. You've got to be happy if you're a T2 fan that they were able to bounce back after falling behind and losing their 1-goal lead.
So the youngsters from Portland showing some bite here on Bark in the Park Day. Fans, USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Back and forth we go here in Irvine, California. Who has the next goal up their sleeve? Here's Cicerone again, putting the moves on. He has made an immediate impact on the score sheet as well as just trying to make things happen for his teammates.
If you're OC, you're not wanting to give up any set pieces in your own third because T2 has dominated you on those corner kicks at least.
It's a bad clearance from Amick, allowing Chaplow to run into space. It's a good ball towards the back post, teasing McIntosh to come off of his line, but it was just over the head of Van Avijk. Ami Pineda holding off Bijev. Miu slips it along for Van Avijk again. For the Dutchman once more. Sliding it through for Alvarez, who has it knocked away by Hansen. And sent ahead again for Williams. Williams in some space. Williams going for goal. It's a slow roller, but it goes wide of the far post. Great counterattack the other way from Portland, as it was one ball over the top and Williams was in.
Good size and just not anything on that shot.
As a goalkeeper, I'm sure that's a big sigh of relief when there's a player in on a breakaway and they just completely scuff it.
Yeah, it certainly is. Although you do kind of like the shot right at you instead, because you get the shot, the save in the stat book. But yes, not when they're able to rifle one to the side netting, because I've seen a couple of those too. A little extra after off that for both players. A little aggressive on the tackle. And a little surprised we didn't see something. I think the foul had already been called here, but seemed a little on the straight leg again. I think obviously T2 a little fortunate in the first half not to have a card because of it. We'll see the after effect. Obviously Van Avijk on the foul, I think, but then Pineda a little cleats up into that area. I think he may have actually been booked for it.
So Victor Pineda being shown the mustard here in the 76th minute. First player to go into the book this evening. As we have just a little bit over 15 minutes remaining in this one. OC looking to make it 6 points in a row. Portland trying to get their first win since April the 22nd, as we have another substitution. And it's Monday, a team who has checked in for Logan Paws. And he replaces Stevanovic here in the 76th. Orange County just trying to see this one out of play. A little bit of miscommunication on the back line, but they're able to shield it out, and it'll be a goal kick coming for Charlie Lyon.
Well, you're going to see the urgency. I think OC, we talked about what they need out of this game, and really, you can't really give up points at home. You give Portland credit. They've had basically 3 opportunities today and be able to score on 2 of them. But OC at home will most undoubtedly be pressing forward in order to get a go-ahead goal here.
Chaplow trying to let that run through. Van Avijk does really well to win the ball back and keep his balance in one motion. And then Bijev with a nasty tackle. Van Avijk making a bit more out of it than he probably should, but nevertheless, it's a foul. And now a little bit extracurricular activity here. As this is the second time that both teams have had a player-only meeting in the middle of the pitch here. And you have to imagine that Bijev is going to go into the book, as that was a nasty challenge. And it was the first time that Tim Ford went into his pocket a few moments ago, but it looks like he will issue Bijev a yellow here in the 78th.
I don't know. He just clipped up a little bit there. Don't know if that was a cautionable offense, Tyler. But as you pointed out just before, but I think they're apples and oranges. You saw Pineda come in with a straight leg. Bijev's back heel or foot clips.
Well, he just simply
Pineda.
tripped over.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Chaplow going to get a yellow card, as he was amongst the instigators for that little tussle in the middle of the park. But Bijev and Chaplow tapping up there and obviously showing some respect for one another. So the substitute going into the book as well. And a couple of players on watch here that if they get a second yellow could drastically change the makeup of this one. Ami Pineda with a good ball in. Alvarez bringing it down. Alvarez going for goal. McIntosh makes the save, and he makes another one. Kendall McIntosh once again keeping Portland in this match.
Inexcusable to get behind there. A header, not a lot on it, but McIntosh, great positioning, made himself big, able to get that first one and then crawl for the second.
Well, you have to wonder about the choice of striking the ball from Carlos Alvarez. He did extremely well and had a great presence of mind to bring it down in the area, but trying to snap that home with not that much pace coming on the ball initially is extremely tough.
That's tough. I mean, you know that the keeper's coming. Obviously, McIntosh wouldn't have got there had he waited for it to come down to the foot. But maybe he thought he saw something that could get around off that, and it's going to result a little bit, Alvarez, in a little bit of cramping, it looks like.
Andrew Greger having a conversation with the fourth official here on the touchline. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
And again, that's the youth of this team, that the fact that Alvarez is able to get behind the defense like that. That ball bounced well outside the area. There's no way that that could be played in by getting in, but it did happen. But again, McIntosh, you come out, you make yourself big, you force the forward to beat you, and he did well again to keep T2 at least at a draw with this one right now.
Bijev doing extremely well to bring it down and wins another corner for his side. And now we're getting into the stage of this game where a goal is not just simply a go-ahead goal, it could be a game winner.
Yeah, and both of the goals have come off corner kicks for T2. I think they've had maybe 5 in the game, and 2 of them have been goals.
Well, it's certainly got to drive a manager mad, giving up goals strictly on set pieces when T2 really hasn't any opportunities from the run of play. Bodily with another good corner, forcing Lyon off his line. He gets a touch to it, but we are going to have a foul on T2 as it seemed to be a bit of a push off there.
I'm not really sure.
From Ornstill.
Yeah, you see the goalkeeper came out. Lyon wasn't touched, and you wonder why that one was blown, but it doesn't matter.
I figured you would stick up for the keeper in that situation.
You know what? On those crosses, I don't. You know, it's like when you come out there and it's, you know, we got a little hand on it, but when you paint the ceiling like that, no, you can't get the easy way out.
Chaplow along for Pineda, trying to slip it through for Alvarez. But that one cut out right at the last. And now Orange County for the second week in a row in an absolute dogfight with a side from the Pacific Northwest is. Take a look again. Yeah, there's nobody around him.
I don't think the referee was in the best position on that one. He was across the goal and may have looked at something he didn't quite was there.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. anything OC can do differently attacking on the other end, Mike?
Well, I think that, again, we play it in. We've seen the opportunities that it created, so you just go ahead. Obviously, Van Avijk has been a little bit more in a reserved role throughout. I think you got to find him. He's been the dangerous playmaker throughout, but at least try to slot it through. We've seen T2 lose their mark a bit into that thing and just continue to show them that patience throughout. But you are running out of time here in these final 10 minutes.
Well, with so many games in hand compared to the rest of the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference for that matter, 1 point at home isn't exactly best case scenario against a team that only has 4 points on the season. So they're really going to go for it here as Bodley takes a big touch into space that eventually runs out of bounds.
With a up-and-coming Phoenix Rising team coming into the park next week. Fans be excited to see Didier Drogba.
Who wouldn't be excited to see Didier Drogba? My goodness. Such a special treat to have him here in the USL as this one's sent ahead for Augustine Williams yet again, trying to fend off Ubias. He's taken down, and there will be a penalty to T2. Would you believe it? The team only has 4 points on the entire season, now has an opportunity to go ahead here in the 84th from the penalty spot.
Well, this one, got it down. That's the part, winning the ball there. You come in and you shielded the ball. You did run through him. It's a little soft penalty, but probably earned it there because he was able to get his body between it. And we'll see if Bijev get that second one tonight.
Bijev already with a goal from a corner kick earlier in this match in the 31st minute. He's got 5 goals on the season. He did score a penalty against Oklahoma City, a 3-1 loss a few weekends ago. Charlie Lyon has given up 2 goals from corner kicks. Neither he could do much about, but he can't have a say about this one. William Bijev to give T2 the lead. And he scores. William Bijev in the 85th minute puts T2 up in front, and they're on their way to their first victory since April the 22nd.
Calm and collected. We've seen that on both penalties tonight. The hesitation, goalkeepers tipping their hand. This time, Lyon goes to his left, and Bijev looks up. He's gone. Let's go the easy way.
William Bijev grabs the brace. He now has 6 goals on the season, by and far the leading goal scorer on this side. And now T2 on the brink of a massive 3 points on the home turf of a team that really needs to get as many points as possible with so many games in hand. They've come out here, they've been on their heels for the majority of the match, but have taken advantage of what few opportunities OC has granted them.
I think maybe OC did bring on another forward in place of maybe one of their defensive players.
And here's a foul on Portland, and now OC going to be in complete desperation mode for the remaining 5+ minutes.
And that was Villalobos that did come on.
So Villalobos, who had the game-winning goal against Seattle last week, onto the scene now and maybe providing a super substitution moment for Logan Paws.
So Pineda out after that yellow card too.
Ami Pineda on top of this free kick. Somebody hits the floor for OC. No call from the referee. Williams takes a big touch, taken down. Franco claiming that he didn't touch him, and he might have a case.
And I don't think he touched the ball either.
And Williams now really milking this for everything that it's worth. Take another look.
Yeah, he definitely didn't touch the ball. The ball should be, if there's no foul, it should be an OC throw. You would argue that perhaps the foot came in and made him step over. Don't think it was a caution on it, but it's like T2 will take advantage of the sub and maybe milk the clock a little bit.
And it's going to be defender Lamar Batista coming in for Jacob Montez, who surrendered the penalty that gave OC the lead, but Portland picking their young teammate up. The 17-year-old's day is done here in the 87th minute.
They retroactively called the foul, which is probably the right call. I don't think there was anything else off it.
Bodily fending off at least one OC defender for the moment. Fans, USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, as here's a serious tussle. And you see Ami Pineda now throwing punches, and the assistant referee was right there, so you have to imagine that he might retroactively go back, as the two players who were tangled up did not mean to do that whatsoever. And they seem to be through with it.
Frustration, Tyler, that's what it is. Ami Pineda, 2 kicks to the down player and then a swing, and as you pointed out, the assistant referee's right there. If they didn't see that, that's inexcusable. He's got to be gone for that one, and that's probably going to be not just a 1-game suspension, that's going to be multiple games.
Well, now it's up to the assistant referee, who was right there next to Ami Pineda, to go up to the head referee and let him know what happened, because he was trying to break up the initial scuffle.
Yeah.
And there is going to be a red card, and it's issued to Van Avijk.
Interesting. I don't know if they got the right player.
And a red card to Lamar Batista as well.
Oh, well, he got a minute in, didn't he?
So now both teams reduced to 10-man. Van Avijk will miss the next game against Phoenix. Batista will miss the next game as well. So a massive twist to the tail here in the 89th. What seemed like an innocent tangle up.
I think we need to probably watch the referee. Well, here's Van Avijk. I think we might see more into this. Well, there's Van Avijk. He got, so that would be the the shove right there, and then that second part. So those two are obviously the ejected there. But I think that right here, we saw that punch right, and he was looking right at it, but nothing there. So I do believe Pineda will probably get something from the league afterwards, but not necessarily affected in this game. But that's a big loss, Van Avijk being tangled up there, and they're going to lose him for the next game as well.
And now Ami Pineda retroactively being given the red card, and that is absolutely the right call.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. We saw the 2 kicks, and then we saw the punch, and there's a no doubter. I was a little surprised Van Avijk, but there's no doubt Pineda should be out of this one.
Ami Pineda, like a kid with his hand in the cookie jar, saying, "Who, me?" And he knew exactly what he did. Kudos to the assistant referee going back and letting the head referee know. And like you said, Mike, that has to be at the very least a 1-game suspension for Ami Pineda, completely uncalled for.
I think we'll be looking at a 3-game suspension in that case, because you saw 3 intentional, 2 kicks and a swing. See what the league chooses to do, but that to me is rather obvious.
So now OC with 9 players, Portland with 2. And we still have some time to play, and with this whole kerfuffle going on, there has to be at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time added on.
I would think so. And, you know, OC has been the better team throughout. We'll see if they can create a chance. I wouldn't be surprised for them to be able to continue to hit balls into the box. But being a man down, you know they're going to be pushing forward. Looks like there's even more activity going on in the box right now, too.
So we're going to have 6 minutes of stoppage time, so plenty of opportunities for OC to try to get back into it, but they're without Van Avijk and Ami Pineda, probably 2 of their most arguably players, as it's put in by OC! Would you believe it? Down to 9 men, and it's Villalobos. What a turn of events!
Doesn't surprise me. They've been able to get these efforts. That one off the head of T2, and there's the equalizer. Great job by Villalobos. Villalobos will follow it in.
And the responses from T2 say it all. They cannot believe that they gave up that cheap of a goal on such an innocuous free kick from almost 50 yards away.
Yeah, it was in, and that ball goes off the head. It's rather insane, but that's what this game's been about.
And this was a pretty clean, well-played match up until the last 3 or 4 minutes or so.
I think the yellow card by Victor Pineda, the straight leg, really kind of changed it up. I think Bijev may be unfortunately booked, but I think we've started to see that he's not afraid to pull the cards out of the pocket.
This one sent towards Lyon, and he's able to collect it. And now an opportunity for OC to maybe go and get all 3 points, but they are down to 9 men after Ami Pineda and Jerry Van Avijk given red cards just a few moments ago after a big kerfuffle in the middle of the pitch involving Van Avijk as well as Lamar Batista, who was also sent off for Portland. So OC playing with 9 men, Portland with 10, and that's how we'll move forward for the remaining 4 minutes.
Still wouldn't put it past being 2 men down, or at least 1 man down, but playing with 2 short. OC putting a couple more opportunities into that area. They've been able to create those chances.
And you can see both teams physically exhausted. And it looks like Alvarez might be cramping up on the far side. Chaplow going out wide for a team. Monday a team. Working on a couple defenders, a team driving towards the byline. A team sends it across. Hansen gets a foot to it, and now Bijev looking to run the other way. OC committed numbers forward. Counterattack could be on. Bijev slipping it through, but the offside flag is up on the far side.
Now the trap was run there. Just a little late was Bijev, or maybe a little early was Williams on the run. Trying to get that counted. That might be where T2's opportunities persist. Alvarez still cramping.
USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Hansen trying to fend off Villalobos, who was responsible for the equalizer. And it will be a throw-in for OC, trying to snatch all 3 points back down to 9 men. Mius looking for an option. Chooses Chaplow. Back for Mius. On his favored left peg. Mius sends it towards the back post. It's a good ball. A team has to track it down. Able to keep it in, working on Bjornathan. A team able to win a corner for OC.
Nervy moments for a young team, but OC with the momentum, getting that equalizer, being a man down.
What a result this would be for Orange County if they could somehow find a game winner here. And for T2, up a man, they might look to counter here if McIntosh could get his hands to it.
It's been T2 that's a dangerous team off corners, but we'll forget all about that if OC is able to put one in.
It's a good ball in. It takes a deflection off of Chaplow as he was trying to turn it home.
Wow.
Last touch off of OC. It'll be a goal kick for McIntosh.
I don't know how Chaplow didn't turn that on to net. 4 yards out, and it looked like he was open.
One minute remaining in the 6 minutes added on. T2 seemingly had this game locked up in the 89th minute, but surrendered a goal. Chaplow fending off Bjornathan, but surrenders it back. Chaplow just standing around, not electing to go, and
he's on.
Portland coming down the other way. Cicerone finding Bijev. Bijev going for goal one time, and Lyon got down.
That was inexcusable, OC, but again, they're down a man too, but allowing that runner to get in behind it, you can't do that, but see if they're going to try and push forward for one more chance.
Amick underneath it, a team committing the foul, and that might just do it for OC. Portland, if they pay quickly, might have an opportunity here.
I think it would have to result in a shot by McIntosh here, but we've seen the win by him. But I think when this ball crosses midfield, we'll hear that final whistle probably.
Now over the allotted 6 minutes here. And that's going to do it. Full time in Irvine. It finishes 3-3 here at Champion Stadium. A wild finish that saw 3 red cards issued, 1 to Lamar Batista, 2 to OC in Jerry Van Avijk, as well as Ami Pineda. And just moments later, after that incident, OC got the equalizer and made it 3-3. Mike Pepper, your thoughts?
Both for first for OC. When you start to talk about your thoughts off that part, very disappointing, but you do like the resiliency, being a man down to get that. If you're T2, look, you had the 1-goal lead, but you lost a 2-1 lead or 3-2 lead, but you're able to come back. It is a growing experience.
It's the first point for Portland in 6 matches. Orange County now have a 2-game unbeaten streak under the belt as they're headed into their next match against Phoenix next Saturday, but they will be without the services of Jerry Van Avike as well as Ami Pineda, arguably 2 of their most dangerous attacking players. A wild finish here at Champion Stadium. The final score here from Irvine, Portland 3 and OC 3. For our outstanding crew, I'm Tyler Terrence signing off for Mike Pepper, saying so long for now. And check that, we're going to take a look at some highlights from this match. And there were certainly plenty of them, as this was the opening goal. A good ball whipped in, and Bijev getting his first of 2 of the evening.
Corner kicks, and then it was a set piece. How many of them came off set pieces tonight? I think 5 of the 6 goals off set pieces. Actually, all 6. We got the 2 corners, 2 penalties, and then you had the free kicks that OCSC. So for set pieces key tonight, including all the conversions they have.
Roy Mayuse converted that penalty kick for OC. That would give them a 2-1 lead, but they would not have it for long as Portland would come down on the other end, and another corner kick goal as this one headed down, and then it was the substitute Cicerone coming on and making an immediate impact.
Yeah, and right into that just right spot, right time. They played it towards the back post, and then it was T2's chance for a penalty.
And then this was a massive moment as OC taking down Williams in the box, and then Viljan Bijev, their leader, stepping up and making the most of the opportunity, sending Lyon the wrong way.
Yep, and that was the key. And we thought at that point it was T2, and then especially here's the brawl that ensued. You saw Van Avike coming a little bit later, and then the point. He's actually pointing at it, and Van Avike started it. Kind of a little unfortunate for T2's player, Batista, to get ejected as that was pushed in. But we saw Pineda right there, kick and punch.
And then the assistant referee, who was right there on the scene, alerting the head referee, Timothy Ford, that Ami Pineda should be sent off, and he was. So he and Jerry Van Avike unavailable again their game against Phoenix next weekend. And then this would be the equalizer. A wild moment here right at the last.
You know, interesting enough, it looked like Pineda was ready to take that free kick, so maybe it was a little blessing he got sent off. That was a great ball in and just misplayed by T2.
It was a good ball in. Hansen was the one who got to it first, but Villalobos doing a great job of following it up. His 2nd goal as a sub in as many games.
Yeah, and again, that was a good result for T2, at least on the result. They're going to hate giving up the equalizer late, but in that case, you know, you sit there and go, and OC is going to be disappointed that they weren't able to get all 3.
So Orange County 4 points in their last 2 matches. Portland again getting their first point in 6 matches. As you see Logan Paws having a conversation with one of his assistant coaches there. A hard-fought effort on both sides. But that's going to do it here from Champion Stadium. Again, for our outstanding crew, I'm Tyler Terrence signing off for Mike Pepper with a final score from Orange County, OC 3, T2 3. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.